Have it. Live set from crazy Jim Baljo. Fantastic stuff. Oh my god. Let me give Jim a microphone. I'll talk to him here. Mr. Jim.
Yo.
Thank you, man. That was wonderful.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me at last minute. I appreciate it.
No, it worked out perfectly, man. Yeah, I'm looking here at your equipment and I don't know. I'm not a gearhead, but maybe you can run down exactly. Maybe give the people an idea of what you're doing there. Obviously, your source is your guitar.
Yep.
And then you're running it through all kinds of fancy doodads.
Yeah, it's definitely fancy. So the first doodad, want me to break it down for you?
Yeah, totally, because you've got this huge pedal down here on the floor.
That's a Morley Fuzzwalk, kind of like the staple of my sound. Run that through the mixer. Alright, and then I've got internal feedback and a contact microphone coming through another mixer.
Contact mic to a little bit of sheet metal here.
Yeah, this is called a shiv. So this is the actual contact right here.
A shiv.
Yeah, the noise shiv.
For those of you playing along at home, a shiv is used in prison to kill people. Okay, go ahead.
Which is what it kind of looks like. And this is a tape machine. Runs tape loops. You can change the pitch, speed it up, slow it down. And then this is called a gristleizer, which I'm still kind of scratching my head on figuring out what it is.
Is that a homemade piece of electronics, the gristleizer?
It's homemade, but it's a prototype, hasn't been quite, made beyond the house, I guess. And then all that's ran through this tape echo, which is, delay, echo, all that fun stuff. And then ran through a Pro reverb amp that has severe water damage.
Noise amp.
Found it in a basement.
Really? Wow, that's amazing. So I'm guessing that airport security loves you when they're traveling.
I haven't flown with all this shit yet. So,
no, it's cool.
All right.
Yeah, we're cuss away.
Cuss away.
Well, you're going to be. So I guess we'll talk about one of the big reasons why you're here and why. I'm sorry to say that I'd actually had not been familiar with their music prior to Nate and John's announcement that you were joining Wolf Eyes. Maybe you could tell us briefly your history with Wolf Eyes, how you got to know John and Nate, and how you've come into the fold.
Well, I guess getting to know them through the skateboard world was like the fundamental reason why I know those guys. But then just being interested in weird, fucked up music, those guys showed me a lot, and I've toured with them before, just fucking around.
Were you in fact the first road crew for Wolf Eyes?
Yeah, the original roadie, I guess you could say. That's a lot of fun. So I guess it just seemed fitting to have like a weirdo freakazoid join the fold that's been with them for a little while.
You've lived in Detroit for many years.
Still do.
And that's where Wolf Eyes is based, basically.
Southeast Michigan, yeah. Ann Arbor, Detroit.
So was it just something where Mike Connolly said to the guys, okay, I'm taking off, and they called you instantly, or had you been jamming with them? Had you been jamming with John and Nate, and it just kind of happened naturally?
I've jammed with Nate, here and there in the past few years, but it kind of just caught me off guard. Nate was just like, "Yo, you want to jam Wolf Eyes?" And I really don't know what Mike's situation is. I rarely talk to him. I only see him out every now and then. I'm still kind of confused at what's going on in that part, but
well, he seems alright. He's on the new Hair Police LP, so
yeah,
we get to hear him. That's a great record. So you guys are going to be doing some shows in Europe.
Yep. Shows in Europe.
When's that, in April?
It's in mid-April.
Okay. And what's going on with this new Wolf Eyes LP? Are you on the entire record?
Yep. As far as I know, there might be some kind of other mix going on, but it's still in the works right now. I think vocals are being laid down as we speak.
So are you using this setup in Wolf Eyes? Are you using the guitar and
not
loop
this
setup?
Not this amp. This amp is just a lighter amp that I wanted to bring on the road to hear. And most of this stuff I use in Wolf Eyes, except for the Shiv and the little internal feedback mixer. The rest of the stuff I use.
So how did the recording of the album go? Is it you guys all get together and you just kind of jam, total improv, or does somebody have an idea where you start and then you just kind of all add ideas to it? I mean,
it's approached like a band, there would be drums, guitar, and vocals, and so it's approached like that, songwriting. You come up with a drum beat, and then you lay a guitar track over it, and you lay some noisier effects over it, some horn effects, and wholesome plays on the record. But it's not really a jam. There's so much programming and fine-tuning going on, Nate's a real stickler for that shit. Probably spend at least 12 hours on just one drum track alone. Locking all of us inside of a concrete building during the middle of a blizzard.
And so you guys running through stuff over and over again until you get it right?
Or till something sticks and makes sense, trying to find the tune and being in the pockets and all that, having certain note clusters go here and there. Pretty much like that. Some of the stuff is improv, but it just happened to be so good that way that we stuck with it. And I think all of us can recreate it again because it's not that hard.
Is that something to recreate it? Are you listen back to the record, and then when you go out and do shows, you try to use that as a framework?
I haven't done a show yet. It's the music making, writing happens first, and then a show does happen next. But all the album writing elements will be translated live. But then it's always a little more intense live.
Absolutely.
So who knows what it would be? There's that element of improv there that can probably be really intense. That lacks in the studio.
Can you tell us how long is the record? Do you know?
I don't. I know that it's going to be a series of 4 7-inch records coming out. So what's the maximum time on each 7-inch? 4 to 5 minutes.
I guess it depends. Well, I guess it depends.
So maybe a 40 minute, 45 minute record.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer, depending on how much you want to stretch those grooves.
So that'll be on American tapes, and then it'll come out as a regular version, from what I understand, on a label to be determined.
Yeah? Shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man, look at that. I'm hooking you up. So that's cool, man. How long did it take for you guys to, how long did you work on the record? Did they feed you in this bunker that Frank Zappa and Nate Young nailed you in?
Man, they do not feed me. It's for like every man on his own to bring their own little Starbucks snack to the table.
Okay.
Basically, I lost track of how long it's been taking since the like 5th week of jamming this shit. It all just kind of seems like a blur. Hours, days.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing it. Any news on U.S. shows? Do you know anything about?
I don't. I know there's some shit popping up, maybe just like in the Detroit area, but nothing out of town yet that I know of. Perhaps post Europe there'll be some shit popping up, but I'm not sure as of that yet.
Well, you should wrangle up Nate and John and come here and do a set in here. Can we fit everybody in here, you think?
Oh yeah. I've got the most gear out of the group. John's got something that'll just fit over there in that corner. Nate's probably will fit over there in that corner. It could happen, maybe.
We'll get into it. Awesome. So you're playing tonight. For those of you listeners out there, we're talking to Crazy Jim Baljo, newest member of Wolf Eyes. If you're in the do you want to tell the story? Why are you crazy? Why are you Crazy Jim? Who gave you that name?
It's weird talking about yourself, especially when it's like freaker exploits. I think they call me that because I just, am intense and kind of am a rabble rouser, maybe. The nickname developed on the first tour that I went on with those guys, and I think I just kind of got caught up in my insanity.
Just general roadie antics and stuff on the road. And you coined Insane, which John Olson has been using for quite a long time.
Yeah, he really likes that. Yep, Insane.
Very cool. Awesome. So yeah, for those of you in New York City, Jim's going to be playing at the Silent Barn tonight in the upstairs space. A very cool show with a lot of great artists, and do a little Googling on Silent Barn, and you can find out more info about that. And Jim, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome back anytime. And with that, we've got about 25 minutes until the Beyond Beyond is Beyond program comes in. Behind us, you're listening to some music from Arica, which is a kind of spiritual institute based in New York City. Put out a couple records in the 70s, kind of proto no-neck blues band type sound. Let's hear some more of this jam. More stuff coming up. EastVillageRadio.com. Thanks for listening.
Thank you to the engineer too, man. Wonderful stuff.
That was fucking awesome.
Out over there.
Awesome, man.
It sounded really good. It sounded like I had some kind of like fucked up like electrical